Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Harakakudash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well. And peace and salutations to you hopeful elect, pushing this truth to the four corners of the earth, waking up the rest of the elect of Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai, so Yahweh Shai can return very soon, which he will, and redeem us up on out of here. Out here again on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, man. All right. Blessed to me by Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Okay. And the topic of this lesson, if I could be out here any longer, because it's snowing. All right. The weather said it wasn't going to snow at all. No precipitation. All right. And here we are. It's snowing. So I'll see how long I can be out here. All right. Until it gets bad. So yeah, the topic of this lesson is going to be about the war in Iran. All right, it hasn't gone full-blown war yet, but the potential war in Iran with the United States, because the United States, all right, got their Navy and Air Force all the way over there in the Strait of Hormuz, which is the waterway in the Middle East, all right under Iran and right above Saudi Arabia, okay, in the Middle East, okay, which is an important location concerning oil, because I believe 20% of the world's oil goes through that strait, okay, and there's tensions between Iran and America in that spot, okay, and Iran already declared war with Israel and America, okay, and if America goes ahead and says fuck it, starts full blast, full war on Iran, okay, it's going to affect, all right, the U.S. economy, the regular everyday United States citizens, okay. When it comes to your economy, your gas prices, the cost of living, okay, the ways of living, okay, here in America, all right, because a gas, petrol, oil, all right, is the basically the fuel of the world, okay, because this world is given into the hands of the wicked Esau, Edom, okay, and and he loves his petrol, all right, his oil, all right, he makes medicine out of oil, plastic out of oil, everything out of oil, runs cars and machinery out of oil, all right, all right, okay, so if the cost of oil, all right, goes up because of this war that possibly might go off here soon. We're going to find out this weekend, if not next weekend, okay? That means the cost of living, not just gas prices, but the cost of living is going to go up. You don't know how much, but it's going to go up, man. All right, because 20% of the world's oil goes through that strait, man. All right, and if that's affected, if war happens right there, hey, it's going to hit America, you everyday citizens. So, the American way is going to be different, man. And especially when it comes to financial goings, man, okay? Gotta put my sign down. Wind, thing off. Gotta glue it together. So I was watching the brother call from GMS Des Moines, all right. He put a video up on the channel GMS Feed the Flock, and he asked ChatGPT, okay. Get all this fucking snow in my shit, man. It's lucky. I don't want this shit wet. He asked ChatGPT, all right, how will full-scale war with Iran affect average Americans, okay? And this is what it said, all right? It says economic consequences, all right? War leads to increased government spending, okay? It could affect national budgets back home, okay? So yet, war costs money, okay? And the United States is going to be spending money on war things, okay, for so to speak, you know, and not money on the United States, citizens, all right, the things in its own country, all right, could affect national budgets back home, okay? So hey, less money is going to be spent here in America, all right, and on you Americans, and the things here in America, it's going to be more money is going to be spent, in war, okay? All right, that's if war happens, okay? Higher taxes, okay? Because hey, how is the government, the United States government, going to get their money to spend on the things in war, for war things, all right, for lack of better words, all right? Our taxes, it's going to come out of our tax dollars, all right? We're going to have to be spending it, man, all right? It's not going to come out of the pockets of these elites, these politicians, all right? The people that have billions and trillions of dollars that run America. They're not going to be spending that money, okay? It's going to be you everyday Americans, okay? You're going to be spending this money on war spending, okay? On these tanks, guns, missiles, all right? Okay, less spent on public services, okay? So, hey, these roads are going to deteriorate, all right? The sown places shall be suddenly unsown, okay? So, hey, like, these buildings aren't going to be worked on, the streets aren't going to be worked on, all right? These houses, the plumbing isn't going to be worked on, okay? And then higher taxes, so people are going to have less money to spend. So life's going to suck here in America, man, all right? So, and higher fuel costs, so gas prices are going to go up, and higher costs on goods, all right? Even not just higher gas costs, all right, for your car, but even everything in the grocery store is going to cost more, okay? All right. All right, military and also military draft concerns, okay? So yeah, man, hey, the men of GMS, been saying, hey, there's going to be a draft, most likely, all right? It's scriptural too. The Bible says, there's going to be a draft, all right? Not in those same words, but it says they shall be thrust through. Talking about these United States citizens, all right? They're going to be thrust through into war, which means they're going to be drafted. They're going to be forced to go to war. If not, they're going to be put in prison, because that's what happens. You get put in prison, or hey, something's going to happen to you, man, all right? If you don't go to war, if a draft happens, all right, you either go to war or you do something else, all right? Go to prison and work for pennies, literally. Because when you're in prison or in jail, you're able to work, but for less money. So hey, and who knows if they'll even pay you? All right, you might just be free labor. All right, because the United States owns your ass, man. All right, they own you blacks, Latinos, you Native Americans. Okay. All right, your birth certificate is a certificate of ownership. All right, from the white man. All right, the United States government, owning you. Okay. So yeah, hey, these people are going to be thrust through. They're going to be, no option. Go to war, or hey, you're going to be working for free in America. Okay. I just brought, roughly paraphrase that scripture. Okay. National security concerns. All right. Increased military actions may raise concerns about domestic, all right, United States, all right, local, all right, domestic security and possibility of retaliatory incidents or attacks on U.S. soil. So, yeah, man, in times of war, all right, there's increased, retaliatory actions by, the country's citizens. People get pissed off, or people come together and retaliate against the government, all right, and the military, all right, they keep an eye on their citizens, making sure that there's no spies and people in their own country, all right, helping them, going against the United States military's will and wants and desires, you know. Okay. So, hey, which means there's gonna be stricter laws. All right. You know, there's gonna be curfews. All right. You know, stricter ways, stricter laws here in the United States. Okay, if that happens, man. All right. Higher, more punishments. Okay, more people jailed. A lot of suspicion. Okay, and there's already a lot of suspicion here in the United States. A lot of things going on. All right, more stricter things. You know. All right, so you're not going to be able to do what you want and live the way you want here in the United States if the United States goes to war with Iran. Okay, which is a great possibility. All right, you know, and if they do go to war, all right, hey, you know, it's going to affect the United States citizens, man. All right, higher prices. All right, higher, you know, living conditions are going to suck. All right, you know, and which all this will lead. All right, which this is going to lead to, and is a good environment and condition for the MOTB to be established and to be a good, great solution to this chaos that's potentially, and will not potentially, but will come, all right, to the United States, all right, and throughout the whole world, all right, because there's a lot of chaos throughout the whole world, even in the United States, and it's going to get worse and worse, okay, and it's set up like that, okay, all right, it's systematically, for lack of better words, it's planned, okay, it's set up, all right, these actions are, you know, this chaos was planned, you know, by these elites, all right, because they believe by the way of order out of chaos, all right, they cause the chaos, they fabricate the chaos so they can have their solution, all right, and their main solution is their new world order, which will be the center of the new world order will be the mark of the beast, the RFID microchip being made mandatory, man. That's gonna be the solution to all this bullshit, all right? You know, universal basic income, and that's gonna be, and that was the next question that I asked I asked ChatGPT, all right? I asked it, how will the United States go into war with Iran lead to universal basic income? And so I asked ChatGPT that, you know, because I was just thinking about it, like, hey man, how is this gonna lead to universal basic income? Because I already, you know, like, you know, the thing, prophecy is popping off the page, and it's just, it makes sense. The puzzle pieces are fitting together, and us men of Yahweh Shemi Shai, you know, we see it clearly. All right, all thanks to Yahweh Shemi Shai, man, for giving us the eyesight and the spirit and the wisdom, all right, to see these prophecies and filter out these things going on around the world with prophecy, with the scriptures, man. We see that a war is about to pop off, and it could literally lead to the MOTB, because universal basic income is going to be on that mark of the beast, the RFID microchip. All right, everybody's going to get a set dollar amount, all right, to spend and to have, all right, okay? Unlike what's going on right now, everybody has a higher paying job, has different paying jobs, and not everybody has the same amount of money. Everybody's paycheck is different, you know, compared to the next person. So, yeah, man. But if that, you know, that's not going to be for very long. The New World Order, all right, it's going to be the rich elite, and then you everyday regular people. All right, there's not going to be no middle class, no higher middle class, no lower middle class, no low class. Everybody's going to be. It's either you're going to be the rich elite, or you're going to be the everyday person, and everybody's going to get paid the same. Everybody's going to be slaves, okay, and have a RFID microchip inside of them, man. Okay, that's the world that's what this world is going to, man. And you want to be a part of that world? Because I don't, man. Okay, that's why we come out here and prophesy against this world. Okay, this wickedness. Okay, all right. And the Lord Himself says, you know, He's gonna upset, all right, this devil, okay, all right. When his belly's full, all right, the Lord's gonna, He's gonna return, all right, and upset His new world order, man, all right. And we believe in that because it's written in the Bible, all right. Because hey, this world is going to shit, man. If the white man stays in power and the Lord doesn't return, that's the world that's what this world is going to go to. All right, a universal basic income. Everybody's going to get a fixed amount paycheck. Everybody's going to get an RFID microchip implanted in them. If not, you're going to die if you don't take it. You know. All right. I don't want to be a part of that world, and we know that the Lord is going to. He's not going to let that happen. Okay. You know. So there's no other choice. You know, there's nothing better than to believe in Yahweh Shema Shai, and that the Lord's about to return soon. All right. All the prophecies, everything going on around the world is fitting the prophecies of the Bible, is fitting, and you know, the things that the men of GMS, Great Millstone, are saying. All right. All right. Now I'm gonna bring out some precepts, but I'm gonna first finish reading this. It says the economic disruption will lead to job losses. Okay. If the United States goes to war with Iran, and how it might lead to universal basic income. Okay, economic disruption, all right, leads to job losses. Okay, so war leads to job losses, man. There's gonna be less jobs, and everything's gonna be focused on war. All right, okay. UBI, it says increase financial insecurity. So there's gonna be less. People are gonna be less secure. All right, when it comes to finances. All right. When it comes to war, all right, everything's disrupted. Okay, so it says universal basic income would be a stable solution to the effects of war. All right, because hey, you know, let me read it. It says UBI, universal basic income, would help sustain U.S. population during increased military spending. So it's going to equalize everything out. It's going to be a solution to all the spending that the United States will put on the military in war. You know, because the population, you know, citizens, they're affected when it comes to war, man. All right, just because the war is on the other side of the world doesn't mean it's not going to affect you. It's going to affect you, man. Hey, during World War II, all right, everybody was working in sweatshops. Everybody was working on military stuff, producing bullets, all right, farming, agriculture, all right, producing for the military, man, all right, you know. And then after the war stopped, everything went back to, you know, different things, man, all right. Those war military companies turned into car factories, car companies, food factories, food companies, you know, other stuff, man, okay. But everything switches, you know, it's going to switch back, all right, if the United States goes to war with Iran, man, you know, so hey, you know, these are the perfect conditions for the RFID microchip being made mandatory, all right, here very soon. It'll be a great solution, okay, you know, if the United States goes to war in all-out war, World War III pops off, man. And it's not going to be the United States and Iran, all right? It's going to be the United States, Israel, all right, and Iran, and who's going to be back in Iran, okay? Russia, China, these other small countries, okay? You know? It says, if war leads to hardship, public support, okay? If war leads to hardship for citizens, public opinion may shift in favor of social safety nets like UBI. So hey, people are going to be so oppressed, you know, because everybody right now, they hear us men of the Lord speaking about the RFID microchip, you know, is the mark of the beast, and there's a lot of people who are against it, you know, Bible believing people, Christians that are against the mark of the beast. Okay, the RFID microchip. A lot of people believe that the RFID microchip is the mark of the beast. All right, and they're like, yeah, you know, you guys are right. But I'm not going to take it no matter what. I mean, I always say like, okay, we'll see, because these people aren't counting on. They're not thinking about, you know, the hardships. Okay, the famine of food and water, diseases everywhere. Okay. The worst times imaginable coming to the United States, okay? People aren't counting on that. Jacob's trouble, okay? Civil unrest, okay? The United States economy crashing, United States dollar being worth nothing all right, less than toilet paper, okay? Those are times that are coming, all right? All out chaos in the streets of America, throughout all of America, man. People are counting on that, all right? And the RFID microchip is going to be a solution, all right? You know, a safety net, you know, to all that, man. Here in the near future, and the elites, all right, are going to offer that, and it's going to be a comfort and relief to, you know, carnal relief to you United States citizens, okay? All right, okay, but you people aren't expecting, all right, you know, you don't believe us when we say that Jacob's trouble is going to happen, all right, you know, all out chaos, the worst times that the world has ever and will ever see is going to happen in the United States, you know. So these people, once that happens to them, you know, they're going to be like, okay, fuck it, man, I'm going to take the market, I'm going to take the RFID microchip, you know, I'm going to take it, you know, it's, you know, fuck it, man. Forget what they said, you know, I need to feed my family, I need my job back, I need to live, I got to feed the kids, you know, I don't want to die. So these people are going to bitch up, pussy up, and they're going to take the RFID microchip, man. All right? Even if they said they weren't, no matter what, they're going to take it anyway, man. All right? But the men of Yahweh Shemi Shai, the Lord is going to keep them from temptation. Okay? Let's get that. All right? Bring out the Bible. All right? Scriptures. It's cold. As many precepts as I can before I get too cold in. All right. Yeah. Let's look at this. Revelation 3:10. All right. Revelation 3:10, it says, because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth. Okay? And that hour of temptation is going to be the RFID microchip being offered, all right, mandatory, all right, an option for you to take, okay? While all hell breaks loose, while Jacob's trouble is going on around you, okay? The worst times on earth is going to be happening, and that hour of temptation, that offer, that option of the RFID microchip being offered to you, all right, you're going to be tempted to take it, all right? You take it, all right, you're going to go back to society, everything's going to be all right, you're going to get money, your job back, everything's going to be cool, or you're going to be safe and secure, okay? You know, but you're going to be guaranteed destruction by nuclear missiles, man. The lake of fire, okay? You know? But if you don't take it, you're going to suffer for a while, all right? You put your trust in the Lord, Yahweh Shemi Shai, you know, you're going to suffer for a while. You're going to be a pilgrim upon earth. You might be unalived or beheaded or shoved in a concentration camp, go through hell. But you're putting your faith in Yahweh Shemi Shai that you will that the Lord is going to keep you safe and fed and alive, no matter what tribulation, what comes upon you, man. Those are your options. Option A or B. All right, put your trust in the Lord and don't take the RFID microchip, or take the RFID microchip. All right, bitch up and take it and be a part of society just for your ass to be guaranteed destruction, you know, in the lake of fire, which will be America being destroyed by nuclear missiles. Not no place underground where wicked souls go and burn forever, all right? That's not the lake of fire. The lake of fire is America burning forever, man, okay? What's up, my man? And you can go through, but yeah,
you know Central Broadway right here?
What's up?
Central Broadway? Central Broadway? Are you from right?
Broadway? I think, where's Broadway at? Yeah. It's kind of weird here. Everything twists around. Broadway is, yeah, it's out what, yeah. thought it was like, I thought he said, is that you on Broadway? No, I probably say on 13th, you know, and here at the Indian. But anyway, let's get Revelation 12. Is it 12 or 14? Revelation 14. All right, because I said what's going to happen to you if you take the mark of the beast. All right. And 9, it says, and the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark, all right, the RFID microchip, all right, in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. Okay, angels in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascended up forever and ever, and nor night who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth his mark of his name. Okay. So yeah, if you take the RFID microchip, if you take it, put it inside of you, okay, no matter where inside of you, okay, and there ain't no I'm gonna take it and take it out at the last minute right before the Lord comes. No, that's not what's gonna happen, man. Okay. Okay. So if you take the little RFID microchip, all right, you're gonna be burnt by nuclear missiles, man. All right, in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. All right, which is talking about the Lord's elect that will be saved in Yahweh Shai, the Lord and Savior. All right, because we're going to be in the chariots and look down at the window, you know, through the windows of the bottom of the chariots, looking at you wicked people, all right, being destroyed and burnt up by nuclear fire, man. All right, for being wicked, mocking us, scoffing us, and taking the mark of the beast, man, and not listening to the Lord and his prophets. All right, and we're going to be laughing at your calamity. All right, like the scriptures say. Okay, that's what it's talking about when it says in the presence of the holy angels and the Lamb. All right, you know, it's not talking about the lake of hell, H-E-L, you know, L, you know, a place underground where wicked souls go and burn forever, man. No, that's false. All right. So yeah, man, you know, going war, United States, you know, going to war with Iran. If it be this weekend or next weekend, hey, it's gonna set up perfect conditions for universal basic income to be a good solution. RFID microchip, all right, to be a good solution, all right, you know, to war, the effects of war here in the United States, because war affects United States citizens, man. It's gonna be inflation, possibly hyperinflation. Okay, all right. Hey, the economy it can crash at any minute, any moment. Literally, the economy can crash at any moment. All right, and it's been like that for you know, a few decades. The United States economy can crash. All right, you know, which means United States dollar would be worth nothing. All right, and that you know, that's been a possibility. You know, and it can crash at any moment. And I say that because the United States dollar, the U.S. dollar, is backed by nothing. All right, the United States is in trillions and trillions. I forgot how many trillions of dollars of debt. You know, but how's your dollar? How are you still able to go buy a gallon of milk for a couple of dollars? You know, if the United States is in more debt than any other country, you know, how is that? It's because the United States, the petrodollar, is still the world reserve currency, man. All right. And these other countries like the BRICS nations, Russia, Brazil, you know, the opposing countries, powers of the world that are opposed to America and Israel, all right, the petrodollar, they're building something called the BRICS currency, man. Okay. All right, where they can spend with that currency, all right, which is contrary and against, okay, the United States petrodollar, man, all right, because the petrodollar is in power. So the United States, since the petrodollar is in power in the reserve currency of the world, the United States is able to be in trillions of dollars in debt, and the United States people, you know, are able to go to the store and buy, you know, buy things for a good price, you know, with the United States dollar, man. All right, because it's the world reserve currency. It's the reserve, you know. The world reserve currency is not the Malaysian dollar, you know. It's not the the Indian dollar, okay, the Chinese yuan, all right. But if the BRICS currency, you know, gets over on the U.S. petrodollar, hey, economic crash could happen, you know, all right. You know, a bag of chips will be thousands of dollars, all right, and your ass is still making $20 an hour, man. You know, that's the situation that's coming to America, man. All right, because these countries like Russia and China, they're building their own currency, man. All right, and that's why the United States and these countries are going to war with each other, man, because they're tired of the bullshit that America's doing, man. All right, under Israel, all right, the capital I country. Benjamin definitely not a Jew, man. Okay, all right. And Israel's being wicked as hell, man. All right, and making the United States and doing, you know, bombing these countries and causing war and conflict and committing mass genocide. All right, on their neighboring countries. All right, you know, just effing everything up, man. All right, pissing off these countries, man. All right, and they control America, okay? You know? So, yeah, man. And they're going to draw out America to go to war with these other countries, man. All right? So let me get that. This is, Jeremiah 15:45. Jeremiah chapter 50, verse 45, and it says, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord, he has spoken against Babylon, all right, which is spiritually America, all right, when it talks about Babylon here in this chapter, all right, it says, and his purposes that he hath purpose against the land of the Chaldeans, all right, surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. Okay? So the Lord is going to draw out America to go to war for World War III against Iran and Russia and whatnot. Alright? Alright? By the least of the flock. And that's talking about Israel. Because Israel is a little sliver of land, a small amount of people. Alright? Not that much power, but their power is in the control of America. So the Lord is drawing out America to go to war. All right, for World War III, okay, you know, by using Israel to draw them out. All right, like I said, Israel is the least of the flock. That's who that's talking about, man. All right, it's like it. So yeah, man, you know, Israel, you know, Benjamin Netanyahu, not a Jew. All right, get it right here. I wrote it down. Iran and Israel, okay, are threatening to release Donald Trump's videos of R-wording children, man. Okay, so Iran, which are enemies of the United States, and Israel, all right, which are allies to the United States, they're threatening to release the president of the United States videos of R-wording little children, man. So, hey, Donald Trump is checkmated, all right? He has no choice. He's cornered, okay? And he's gonna have to either go to war or go to war, man. All right, because the only solution to him being exposed for the Epstein files is going to war. All right, that's the all right. Because if he doesn't go to war, he's gonna go to prison, man, or be unalived, mass, be hung in the streets, all manners of things, be put in prison, have brooms be stuck up his behind, because that's what happens to people that go to prison, all right, that do things to little children, all right. Those men that go to prison for doing that, brooms get stuck up their behind, all right. Men's rods go up their behind, knives go up their behind, man. All types of wicked shit happens to those type of men, man. All right. I've seen videos, YouTube videos, and stories of what happens to chomos, that go to prison, okay? And Donald Trump is definitely one of those, okay? So he's not gonna have a choice but to go to war, and look like the good guy, because he's done, he's through, okay? And all these politicians of the United States are through too, man. All right. I forgot who it was. I'm gonna do a lesson on it. All right, Lord willing, I don't want to write this out. This one politician woman, she said, uh, if the people, something about the Epstein files, if they start prosecuting the people in the Epstein files, the whole government, the whole system will shut down, man. Because those are the people that run the whole system of the world, that rule the world, man. All right, they're the ones doing that to little children, doing satanic rituals. All right, drinking babies' blood. Okay, doing Epstein file like type activity. All right, your politicians are the elites of this world that control the world, man. All right, your famous actors, your famous ball players. All right, your politicians. All right, they're all doing it. I wouldn't be surprised if Putin is doing it, and if he's not, cool. Who gives a fuck? But yeah, man. All right, people that control the money, the banks, the entertainment. All right, that own the food, that own everything, man. I'm talking about like the elites. They all do it, man. Okay, so if they start prosecuting, all right, jailing, imprisoning those that are named the Epstein files, the whole system will shut down, man. Okay, that's the time that we're in. All right, the pump shall be brought low. Okay, talking about the wickedness of this world, man. Okay, all right, those that run this world, all right, that their pride, their pomp, all right, their high status is being brought low. By the spirit and power of Yahweh Shem Yahushai, man, the Lord is revealing the wickedness of this world. Okay? Let's get 2 Thessalonians. I'm getting cold. I don't want to get pneumonia. The last time I did this, I got pneumonia. 2 Thessalonians. Come on, man. Why you gotta go through here, bro? What the fuck? 2 Thessalonians 2:7, it says, this is for the mystery of iniquity, all right, doth already work. All right, so the wickedness of this devil, of the so-called white man, all right, and his mysterious acts, all right, doing everything in the dark and secret, all right, is coming to the light, man. What he's been doing to these children, innocent people, all right, him looking like the good guy, but really he's the fucking devil, all right. Throughout all these decades and years, people loving him, but when he's actually the fucking devil that the Bible speaks of, all right, so it already worked. It does already work, man. All right, it's happened. All right, wickedness has ran its course throughout the whole world. All right, and people are revealing. All right, the so-called white man is being revealed for being the devil that the Bible speaks of. All right, the wicked shall be revealed. Okay, roughly paraphrasing. Okay, it says. Only he who now letteth will let until he be taken out of the way. All right, the Lord's going to take this devil out of the way. All right, out of his rulership, his power seat. Okay, it says, and then shall that wicked be revealed, whom the Lord shall consume with the spirit of his mouth, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the Lord is consuming this devil by exposing his wickedness. All right. by the spirit of his mouth through his prophets, okay? Before any kingdom falls, the Lord sends his prophets to prophesy against it, all right, like the scriptures say, you know? And we've been telling you these things. We've been telling you that the so-called white man's the devil. We've been telling you he's been doing these wicked things behind closed doors in the dark, all right? And you people don't want to fucking believe us. You still don't believe us, man. Oh, you're believing us now, but you're giving credit to everybody else. Just because the white man tells you that the white man is doing this, the Epstein files, this and that, now you want to believe it. We've been telling you this shit, man. We've been telling you that the white man, all right, these elites of this world, which happen to be white people, all right, you know, drink baby's blood, do wicked sacrifices, you know, believe in Satan, do satanic worshiping, okay, all these types of wicked shit, man, all right, you know, but y'all want to ignore us, okay? We've been telling you this, okay? You know, but it's just now coming out that what we've been saying is actually true, you know? All thanks to Yahweh Shem Shai, okay? You know, it says, and shall destroy with the brightness of his coming. So the Lord is causing war, right, causing World War III to happen, all right? So the Lord could gather these nations, you know, and go to war with each other, and the Lord could drop these nukes on America and take away this devil's power, all right, the so-called white man's power, all right, and put them in chains as our slaves, okay, when the Lord returns and establish righteousness upon the earth, and put his people, all right, and Yahweh Shai on top, ruling the whole world in righteousness, where a world is ruled by the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. Because this world is not ruled and governed by the law, statutes, and commandments of the Bible. It's ruled by the law, statutes, and commandments of the so-called white man, the devil, okay? And that's why the world is the way it is. The air, the land, the water, the minds of these people, everything is polluted, okay? Because, all right, living contrary, you know, but that's all coming to an end, all right? And you see it happening, man. The things that the men of GMS are saying are coming to pass, okay? World War III is about to happen.